Ruben's like, oh yeah, I'll bring you over, I'll introduce you to him. And then we're like, oh my god. And I forget what he said when we walked up. I was like, Dad, the way he like introduced us, he was like, oh, this is Kelsey and Becky, like.
Hi guys, welcome back to A Little Bit of Law.
My name's Kelsey.
And my name's Becky. And this is our podcast where we just kind of ramble about things that we find interesting at the moment, things we want to discuss and chat about. So thanks for coming back and tuning in.
Wow, what a podcast. We just talk.
How has your week been?
Oh, I'm having a good week. Better week than I've had in a long time because it feels like things are a little bit more chill.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, I've actually been watching Breaking Bad because, I never got into it before. And I'm like, this is my time now because I have like a little bit of free time.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's so funny. A couple weeks or maybe a month or so ago, Austin and I just rewatched like the whole thing too.
I think that's kind of what made me rewatch it too. I was like, oh yeah, people have been talking about this.
Yeah, and when the movie's coming out, which I'm so excited for. So it's all fresh in my head too.
Yeah.
So exciting.
How was your week? How was your little mini vacay?
It was good. It was relaxing. The weather was nice and it was just, I didn't do much, but that's what I wanted to do, so it was fine.
Yeah, like a staycation kind of.
Exactly. Well, we went up north, but we weren't like vacationing. Sometimes vacation is more work than it is vacation sometimes, so
exactly.
It was nice.
Yeah. And Danny had fun?
Yeah, the most fun. He loves just running around doing dog things.
I miss Danny. He's such like a puppy, even though he's not really a puppy anymore.
He's an energetic boy for sure.
Aw.
Well, maybe one day we'll have a space where he's welcome back because we can't have pets here, unfortunately, if you guys didn't know that.
Boo. Everybody boo, boo.
I know. He was in the vlogs for like a hot sec before we knew it was like not allowed.
Yeah.
And those were fun days.
Those stressful days for Daniella.
For Daniella?
Yeah, because it was just when the three of us worked at the Sorry Girls. And then we would go out and like go supply shopping and stuff and be like, we're leaving you with the puppy. And she's like, hey.
No, she loved it though. You should text me. She's right here. So you text me all the time pictures being like, he's sleeping. He's so cute. And I'd be like, he's so cute.
But I know puppies are a lot of work. Anything else?
Well, you bought a house last week and I wasn't even here for it.
I know.
It happened on last week's podcast episode, which is wild.
Yeah, guys, if you haven't heard last week's podcast episode, definitely go watch it. I think it was a good one. I had David, my boyfriend, as a co-host since Becky was away. And there was a very exciting phone call I got while we were just like recording the podcast.
Yeah, so it's this exciting podcast because A, special guest, and B, exciting announcement.
Yeah, wow, so fun. So now I'm doing all the stuff that happens after you buy a house, which is like get your lawyers figured out and get your house appraised to make sure that you didn't overpay for it. Because if you did, that means that they're going to give you a smaller mortgage, which means that you have to make a bigger down payment. There's just like a lot of things. It's like a chain reaction. Buying a house.
They can do that after you've already gotten the house? I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can't. That's why I guess your real estate agent probably knew you weren't overpaying for your house. But when I was bidding on a house, not the one that I got, but when I was bidding on a house, I'm sorry for all the house talk, guys. I'm sure it'll end eventually / soon. But maybe this is helpful if you are eventually one day looking to purchase a house, or maybe you don't already know this. When I was bidding on a house that was like a total gut job, it was listed like I was basically putting in an offer like nearly $200,000 more than it was originally listed for. And that's just because, it was a total gut. So I think they put the price low. But then when I looked at like how much it would cost to renovate it and the bones and the fact it had parking and like all these great aspects to the house, I was like, actually, this house is worth a lot because I compared it to other homes I've seen in the area. And I was like, dude, this house is like bigger. It has a garage. Like all of these things are worth a lot of money and it's not going to cost me like too much to fix it up. So I was like, I basically just take the price it's worth minus the reno cost, and that's the price that I was kind of going in at. And then my real estate agent was like, I just have to be careful that we're not going too high for the appraisal because otherwise you're not going to get the mortgage that
because the bank doesn't know the things that you know.
Exactly. So they're going to be like, dude, if something happens and like you can't pay your mortgage and we need to sell this house, like
that's right,
they need to be able to sell it at a price that they can get their money back. Yeah, That's why.
That makes sense.
Okay.
That makes sense.
How's school with Kelsey?
Well, let's hope that doesn't happen this time. I don't think it would.
No,
That looks nice. I've seen pics. I like it.
Yeah, thank you. And your real estate agent will definitely like make sure of that you're not paying too much for the home, as much as they get like a portion of the fee or the price of the house. So they would obviously want you to like maybe pay a little bit more. They want the whole market to stay sustainable, and they want to make sure that you're not overpaying for it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, also another reason why this week just feels so much better is because Monday, also this week feels long, but Monday I played hooky from work yet again, to sit down and finish off that proposal, the funding proposal, which again, I feel like all I talk about now is houses and funding proposals, but this is my life and this is what we all signed up for, guys.
This is a podcast about our lives.
Yeah, so I sat down and worked on that like all day with like a producer consultant that we're working with and got it done. There's still another fund to apply to, but I feel like the first one's the hardest and it's done. So
Yay, that's so exciting. Mini clap so
I know
headphone users don't die.
ASMR claps. Yeah. So that's that.
I know. Wish us luck, guys. We'll see what happens.
Oh my gosh. You were just telling me though that you heard recently like somebody else was talking about doing a similar show idea to the one that we're thinking of.
I might have been reading too much into it and I forget who it was, but somebody, and I'm not trying to be like, ooh, somebody, like I don't remember.
She won't even tell me who the somebody is.
Somebody. So they were looking for a host for a specific type of thing, which aligned to maybe our show. And I was like, ooh, this seems suspect. But I don't even know where it went or who it was. So.
Cool. We'll keep our eye out for that. Not much you can do, anyways.
No, well, especially when you don't even remember the person.
Nope.
There you go.
Okay, and I know we usually talk about what happened last week, but also what's happening next week? Like what?
I know, it's a long weekend this weekend, which makes next week short.
Wait, what are you doing for the long weekend?
Not like one thing. I have like a bunch of separate plans like every day. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. Sometimes your long weekends are like, this is a cottage weekend. I'm doing that for the whole weekend. Yeah. And sometimes you're like, it's a normal weekend, but I got an extra day.
Yeah, no, it's like I'm doing one thing Friday, then one thing on Saturday, and then one thing on Sunday.
And you're not going to the cottage?
No.
Whoa.
I know.
You heard it here first, guys. Becky is not going to a cottage.
I think because it is the long weekend, it's just going to be so crammed. Like, everybody's going to go.
Yeah, like me?
Are you going to a cottage?
No, I'm going camping.
Oh.
That's why I have to leave early on Friday.
That's exciting. Where are you going?
Bon Echo.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you know. Okay, so I never really did much camping, and then we did the Outward Bound trip last year, and it's just like literal heaven. So I booked this so long ago, and let me tell you.
By the way, you have to.
You do have to, because we booked I think in May maybe, and it was already like booked up. Like this was the only weekend we could get, which is very surprising because it's a long weekend, but it is later. Like this is kind of like the last of the summer, right? Mm-hmm. So we booked David and I. We booked 2 campsites that each fit 4 people. Mm-hmm. Guess how many people are going camping?
2?
Me and Andrea, baby.
Was David going?
No, because he's in Saudi Arabia.
So he booked it just to like hold the spot for you?
Well, we booked it like in May.
Oh, and
he didn't know.
Be gone. I see.
And literally, like these 2 friends bailed, and then my other friend is like busy, and then my other friend's like traveling for work, and my boyfriend's traveling for work, and I'm like,
you're gonna have the biggest camp spots all to yourselves.
Literally, it's 2 campsites though, and I was trying to cancel the other one, but I literally couldn't even figure out how to do it.
You should see if you can sell them, honestly.
Oh,
if it's full.
The only issue is that they might ID you, I think, because the campsite's under a certain person's name, and I'm not David.
Oh, I see.
Because I know it's like you're responsible, like if you do something bad on that campsite.
So even if you did have friends to go, they couldn't stay there?
I know, I was wondering that too. Yeah, like unless it was under somebody else's name. You might be able to change the name though.
You must be able to. That's crazy.
Dig into this a bit. But I know David logged into the account and he's like, I didn't see anything there. And I was like, did I book them under my account but just like put 2 different names? That's very possible. I just haven't had a lot of time. And I have to pack tonight because I'm going to be leaving like straight from work tomorrow.
True that. How far of a drive is it?
It's like a 3-hour drive.
Oh, that's not so bad.
Oh, wow. That's like really bad for me. I was like, are you kidding me? 3 hours and 8 minutes when I looked last night, which means that Friday, rush hour, long weekend traffic. I'm like, girl, I'm like telling Andrea, I'm like, can you leave? Like, how early can you leave work?
Yeah.
Like, is 9 a.m. too early to leave work?
Or just like at the same time leave late because it's a long weekend. You have the whole weekend.
I know, but I hate driving at night. I will literally fall asleep.
Oh,
it gives me so much anxiety to drive at night. And you don't want to set up your tent in the night.
That's true.
It's not like a cottage. It's like camping.
That is very true.
Yeah, I think we're either leaving before her meeting or after it, which is either 2:30 or 4. FYI, these are the times I might be leaving tomorrow.
Okay. Got it.
So I'm either leaving at 2 or like 3:30.
All right.
To scoop her. Yeah. Anyways,
Sounds
I digress.
fun.
Wait, we were talking about next week after the long weekend.
Yes. So after all those things happen.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That we are doing. We have like a one day here, and then we're off to LA for a little bit, which is, I feel like this is the most LA travel we've done in like forever. Like in a year, like in a time span, like we've been so many times. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We are going to help Gaby Hannah with her new house. If you guys follow her at all, she just bought a gorgeous house all to herself, and she's like getting a bunch of people to help her make over the place. So we are doing her home office for her, and also helping her just upcycle a bunch of cool stuff that's going to go in different places for her house. That'll be on our channel, but the makeover for her room will be on her channel.
Yeah, it's like a collab situation. And then we quickly booked our flights once we knew that the furniture was going to be there and we were good to go. We're like, all right, we need to go now before we start filming dorms and get busy with that, because I know she wants this done ASAP. So we booked our flights, and then we were like, shoot, where are we going to stay? And then like a part of us was like, I wonder, like, she has this big house, like, does she have extra rooms set up? You know, I wonder if we'd be able to stay there. But obviously we're not going to ask. So I was just like, yo, okay, like flights are booked. Like, what area are you in? And like any idea of where we should stay? And then she was just like, girl, I got room. And we were like, yes.
Thank
So
you.
that just made everything a lot easier.
Especially because when we get down there, we don't have a car, and like navigating Ubers is so complicated
And expensive.
So this is great. She's so sweet, like so nice.
Yeah, and when we did Nikki and Gabby's rooms in Pennsylvania, we stayed at their house, like the house that we were making over. And it makes our life a little crazy. Like, we were literally locked in a house for a week. It felt
We
like
could leave.
we could leave, but ultimately you're just there. You're DIYing 24/7. But if we weren't there, like it would have been so hard to get everything done. So
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
easy to just be like, oh, we're done DIYing, like sleep, and then wake up and start.
Yeah, and a lot of these YouTubers get really big houses because they want all these filming spaces, but they can't use all the rooms all the time. So it's like a good bet that they might have spare spaces, which is nice for us.
Yeah.
This is our gig. If you want us to come to your space, you have to let us stay with you. Give us room and board.
So it's definitely a little awkward asking people to stay at their place or be sly about it. Like, I don't even know if that's rude, but it's definitely a little awkward, which is a sweet little segue to today's topic, which is being awkward and social anxiety. A specific type of awkward, because there's definitely a lot of like life awkward that goes on, but I think today we're going to talk a little bit about like social awkwardness and networking and being shy, because even though we're YouTubers, I mean, I personally think that I'm weirdly outgoing in some circumstances and then very shy in other circumstances.
Yeah, I feel that for sure. And we get put in situations all the time where we have to meet people and introduce ourselves to people, or we should, at like events or parties. And it's always an interesting time.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy? Well, I'm just going to say, I think networking is the best thing that you could ever do for yourself in your career. I mean, as much as we all kind of like hate it and we'd maybe rather stay home than go to that event, but that's how you meet people, that's how you make new friends, that's how you maybe meet your significant other, but also it's how you get connected and like further yourself in your career.
Yeah, it's how people remember you too. So when that person goes on to do something else, they're like, oh, I met this person at this thing that one time and they did do this really cool thing, like let me suggest them for this new job or something.
Yeah, literally everybody is more interesting in person. Like, if you're not more interesting in person than you are on like text or email, then that is a serious issue.
Yes.
And I know that personally our manager, you know, even our YouTube videos, like you can watch our YouTube videos, you can get a sense of who we are from there. But he's like, I always love to bring you guys, as in like Becky and I, to some kind of event or a meeting or something whenever he can and whenever it makes sense for us, because just us being in the room with somebody is way more words.
useful. Like, you can get your point across.
And sense. You can get a sense of who we are. I think a lot better in person.
Yeah, and not to be like, I'm not thinking of anyone in specific, but a lot of people online actually aren't as like out there and outgoing in person as they come across on the internet. So I think sometimes like people are surprised to meet us that we're like, you know, equally as exciting and like well-spoken. Do you know what I mean?
As I just stumbled on words and said I wasn't very outgoing. But
no, but like when
I think we're like professional and like we can pitch an idea pretty well in person.
And if I'm like, I know I'm speaking to someone important, like I can hold a conversation and like I know how to speak. Do you know?
Yeah.
Okay. But maybe some people aren't like that, so it is nice to have that opportunity to like prove yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. So VidCon is one of those places where a lot of these like meetings happen with people. What are your thoughts? What experiences have you had?
All the time. Honestly, I think I'm most confident when I know I can be really good at networking and talking to brands and stuff if I have a good grasp on like how I would connect with that person. So if there's a brand and I'm like, oh, I know a really good idea of how we could work together, then I'm really confident in talking to them. But if there's something that like doesn't make a lot of sense, I'm such a bad liar. I'm a bad bullshitter.
Like, can you give an example?
Well, there's a certain bank we were talking to at VidCon, and they were like talking about us, and I just like, as the meeting went on, I was like, we are like not a good fit at all. And that's at the point where I can't even lie. I can't even give you any kind of ideas. I'm just like, I shut down and I'm quiet and I'm like, I want to leave now.
Yeah, I feel that. I sometimes find it easier though to talk to like these companies or these faces and just like not make up stuff, but you know, like sort of sell yourself in a way. But I find it so much harder to go and talk to like other influencers. I hate that word, by the way, but like other creators that I like actually love.
Yeah.
That's when I'm like, I don't know what to say. Like, how do I talk about myself? But when it's like a company or brand, I'm like, oh yeah, here's me. Here's what I do.
That's true. When we were at VidCon this year, Ruben, our manager, he'll always be like, is there anybody you want to talk to? Like, because he is not afraid to make those introductions. And a lot of the time he already knows them. Or if he doesn't know them, he literally knows like 3 of that person's friends or management. So he's very connected. And I know we were all standing there in like the hotel lobby and Anthony, why am I blanking on his last name?
Padilla.
Oh, yeah.
Smosh.
Smosh. Yeah, Anthony Smosh. Anthony from Smosh, although I'm sure he wouldn't like to be called that anymore now that he's not with Smosh. But he was in the lobby, and another YouTuber of ours, a friend of ours, he's like friends with him as well. And then we were just like, oh, we love Anthony. We love Anthony because Becky and I like that was like our first YouTube channel we both watched.
Like old school YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, that's how I like literally discovered YouTube was because of that Pokemon video. But anyways, so Ruben's like, oh yeah, I'll bring you over. I'll introduce you to him. And then we're like, oh my god. And I forget what he said when we walked up. But it was very like, I was like, Dad, you know, the way he like introduced us. He was like, oh, this is Kelsey and Becky. Like, this is what they do. But he was said something like they're big fans or something. Or like, oh, you know what he said? He was like, they didn't want to come over. Like, they were too shy. Something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, Dad. And I made fun of him. And then Anthony was like, yeah, that was such a dad move. And I was like, I know. Reuben.
It's so hard too. Like there's a lot of people that I really respect and think make really awesome content, and I want to say hi, but like I don't know how we like fit together, or like I can't suggest that we could do a collab or anything. Like it just doesn't make sense. But I just want to be like, hi, I think you're cool, like keep doing what you're doing, but I don't want to come off as like fangirly or anything. And I'm like, I don't know what to say. Because
also if somebody said that to you just be like, okay, thanks. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not really a good like opening. I feel like it doesn't give you any kind of jumping off point.
Exactly. And like what do you do when it's someone that's like maybe not so similar to the stuff that you do? It's so hard.
I feel like you can't talk about work in a certain way.
Yeah, you can't.
Like we went up to a creator at VidCon, not Anthony PS. That one just kind of ended by him being like, I gotta go work on a thumbnail.
And we're like, okay, bye.
It was really late. Like honestly, it was probably like
2:30.
1, 2, yeah, something like that. So no hate, no shade. But yeah, we went up to a creator at VidCon at a party, we went up to him. It was like kind of a group of us, and we were like, oh, we're from like the same area, blah, 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 go Canada, trying to like kind of start a conversation. It was kind of just like blank wall, like, yeah, cool. Like,
that was one of those things where it's like maybe we don't have a lot in common. Well, besides like our where we're from, but like our content maybe isn't as similar. But it's still like we love what you do.
Yeah,
think you're really cool.
I feel like it came off
just like chat.
Maybe it came off that fangirly way, you know.
But I don't know. Like, how do you make it not? Because we were talking about things like we were from the same area, like we have like mutual friends.
We weren't talking about like so much content. We were talking yeah, we do have mutual friends. Yeah, we were talking more about like life.
And just like, are you having a good time? Like,
maybe it was the group thing. Let's think about that for a second, because it was like I think 3 of us maybe, and it was like, yeah, maybe that was it.
I also think the setting was hard too, because it was like a VidCon after party, and it was like in kind of like a club scene, and it was really loud.
Yeah.
And like it's so hard to talk to anybody there anyways. I went up to a girl too that we all wanted to like say hi to, and I was like, okay, I'll go say hi. Like, we sort of have this like mutual like jumping off ground of like we're both like doing something together. And I went to go say hi, and it's like I was like yelling my name, like who I am, and she's like, what? Huh? Like, it was loud, and I was like, we're doing this thing, like I like your videos, like I don't know, it probably came off terrible, but she's like, okay, nice to meet you, and I'm like, oh,
I get it though.
It's so, I know, that's the thing, I need to crack this code, because like what would someone say to me that I would be like, ooh, you're interesting? I don't know.
I think we're going to discuss more about this after the break. We're going to figure out what are these hacks to networking, because obviously we're like not nailing it right now, but I think that we can, and we have in the past. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back. And we're back.
Okay, so discussing awkwardness at parties and how to make good conversations with people.
I'm feeling anxious already.
I know. You know what I really respect about people that come up and talk to me is people that know how to have a good out for a conversation.
Okay, so before we talk about the in, we're going to talk about the out.
Yeah, because we haven't cracked the in.
Okay.
It's really hard. It's hard, guys. It's hard out here for a girl. Like, I like when people talk to me. Like, I don't mind talking to people I don't know. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I like having conversations with people. But I like to know how long the conversation is going to be. This sounds terrible. But, like, if I know the, like, time frame, or, like, I know that, I mean, I don't know, but, like, the person's going to have a good out, or I can have a good out, then I feel more comfortable talking to them. Whether it's instead of it just being like, I don't know how long this is going to go on for, like, what do we talk about? But if it's like, I got to go somewhere in 10 minutes, like, I don't mind talking to you for 10 minutes. I feel good about that.
Okay, let's come up with 2 outs. One for like an industry party, and one for a friend party, and one for a party where you don't really know anybody.
I like your math on that a lot.
Yeah, I added one. Okay, so if you're at a party with friends. Okay, wait, these work for all of them. I'm going to go get another drink. Boom, done.
Yeah. But here's the option. If the conversation's going well, it's, I'm going to get a drink. Do you want something also?
Yeah. Okay, but what if they're like, oh yeah, I need another drink too?
And you'll be like, oh, just kidding, I really have to pee.
I was going to say,
get that drink. I'll get mine later.
Okay, that's another good one. I got to use the washroom.
Yeah.
Good out, unless you just use the washroom. A good tip, only use the washroom when necessary.
Why?
So that you can always use it as an excuse to get out of a conversation.
I see.
Unless you're me, and then I've literally hid in the bathroom at parties in the washroom.
Oh.
Not in like a sad way, just like I need a break.
Yeah, no, you need some quiet.
Loud
sometimes.
music, like at that VidCon party we were just talking about, I totally did that. I did that like maybe just once. I held out for a long time.
Yeah.
And then I was like, this is like too much, and like I just need to be quiet. It needs to be quiet.
It's true.
I need to like stop looking around being like, who do I need to talk to?
Another out I like is I'm going to go say hi to other people.
Yeah.
Because that makes you look like busy and like you know people, which is always a good vibe to put out.
Yeah.
And I would never be like, no, you can't. Like, if someone said that to me, I'd be like, yeah, okay, I respect that. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah. Fake phone call. Oh, I just got to take this.
That one's for when it's real bad and you just can't get out.
These are basically like we're giving people outs for dates,
That's true, actually.
You can be on a personal date and be like, I gotta go get a drink. I'm not gonna offer you one.
Well, those are some thoughts for our outs, but I think if you listeners have any thoughts for really good ins, you should email us to podcast@thesorrygirls.com.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we'll get into reading emails later, but also in future episodes I want to read more emails, and I think that you guys might have some good thoughts for this on like how to introduce yourself to someone that you genuinely think is cool, but you don't want to come off as fangirly. You just want to like, you know, make a good friendship or good connection even. Like, I'm not asking to be your best friend. I just want to say hey and be respected. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, respect.
Totally.
Respect your need to be respected. Also, I just realized that those tips didn't adhere to like industry parties versus friend parties.
Well, we discovered that they maybe could be useful and all.
They work for all of them. Yeah.
Oh, but speaking about good ins, we have a real fun story about that Buffer Festival party.
Okay, I don't remember this.
You don't remember this? I remember this. Okay, so there was...
Sorry, I don't know why I'm laughing.
I think you'll remember it as soon as I say it, I think.
Okay.
So there was a after party after an event in Toronto called Buffer Festival. It's like a film festival. And they had this really fancy party at like this store downtown. And Kelsey and I went, and I think we had... Was it just... Claire and Daniella were there with us as well.
And Justin, no? Oh, no, yeah, Justin was MIA.
Yeah, and it was also Nuit Blanche that night.
Yeah.
Too, so it was like a busy time in the city, and a lot of people were at this event, but we didn't know anyone there. Like, surprisingly, there was not a lot of like other influencers that we actually knew and would chat to.
Lots of industry people and not influencers.
Yeah, so it was like the four of us standing around like waiting for the food platters to come out most of the night, and we like looked at each other and we're like, okay, this is sad, we have to do something about this. Like, we're at this really cool party, there was lots of people around, we need to say hi. So we like split into groups. I think you went with Claire and I went with Daniella, and we were like, okay, we need to make a pact together that we're gonna go say hi to like 3 or 5 different people. Like, you have to do it before we join back together.
This now.
And we like held each other accountable to just like make those numbers, like say hi to 3 different people. And it doesn't matter if the conversation is good or not, or if it lasts. You just have to go introduce yourself. And the fact that it was kind of like a game and we forced ourselves to do it was so fun. And like, it made you do it.
That was actually, yeah, I remember now. And then Claire and I just started dancing, and there was like...
That's how you got your people?
Yeah, we just kind of, they were dancing maybe, and then we said hi, and then we just kept dancing. And I was like, does that count? Yeah, that was so weird.
I think Danielle and I definitely had some weird conversations with people, but like, it doesn't matter because we did it.
Yeah, and I remember like once we met back up, we're like, all right, we're out. we did it. We talked to our people, because I think that was the thing. We wanted to leave the party, but we were like, guys, we've been here for like over half an hour, and all we've done is talk to each other.
Yep.
Because that's another thing is, I don't know about anybody else, but sometimes when you do go to like maybe parties with your friend or industry parties, like sometimes you just end up talking to the same people you always talk to. Like, we'll go to VidCon parties, and then we'll talk to the people like we brought to VidCon, aka our staff, or we'll talk to like other Toronto people that we already know.
And it's like, what's the point of coming all the way out here, all this money and tickets, and you don't meet new people?
Yeah, so I mean, unless sometimes like those people will know somebody else, and then that's like the best way to meet new people actually, is if you see somebody you know with somebody else, that's when you need to be like, rah.
Yeah, because that mutual friend gives you the cred that like you're a good person.
Yeah,
which
that
is
you're
really
cool
smart.
And that you're not just a fangirl.
Exactly. So yeah, something like going back to what we were saying is like having a goal in mind for like an event.
Talk to 3 people. Love that.
Yeah, it's a really easy way to just like in your head just think like, I have to do this.
Yeah.
Instead of like, I'm not like, I don't know.
Because it's like, why did you even go in the first place?
Yeah, exactly.
And do you want to go, like, you made it this far. You might as well follow through and talk to somebody.
And plus it can get you past like that mental roadblock in your brain sometimes where you're like, oh, I don't want to talk to that person because like I'm a big fan or something. It's like, that's not the reason. I'm doing it because I have to meet 3 people. Like, that's the reason, and it makes it way more chill.
Yeah, and just remember, guys, if you're ever nervous to go up to somebody, just remember we all poop, okay?
That was going in a different direction.
That person poops too.
And that person also gets nervous too.
That person does also get nervous. I was watching Camila Cabello's like MMVA? VMA? Ugh, there's so many stupid ones. But she was like talking about her performance, and she was like, I get nervous. And I was like, what? It's so crazy.
Yeah. And it's true even on a more like semi-personal level, like being at VidCon and stuff. I've seen people at parties that I'm like, oh, like it'd be so nice to go talk to them, or like they're really famous, you know? And then you later down watch VidCon vlogs and they're vlogging and they're like, oh, I don't know anyone here. Like, this is so awkward. Like, why am I here? Or like, that wasn't fun, or I wasn't having a good time. And you're like, wow, like my perception of them, that they were so cool and like above this. And then you realize like maybe they would have loved someone to come say hi, you know?
Wow. Think about that.
Think about that next time.
You are that person's out.
Exactly.
When you're going up.
Yes, exactly.
You're their in.
You're there. Yeah. Yeah.
Be your own in. I don't know.
The message is hidden somewhere in there for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so our producers did a little research on this whole topic of social anxiety. So Bustle pulled a list of ways to cope with anxiety at social parties or social events from Reddit users. So here are some tips. I liked some of these. This first one kind of reminds me of what you were just saying. Set small goals. Don't expect for yourself to become a social butterfly overnight. Start with talking to one new person at your next social gathering and work your way up. So yeah, if you can be like one person today, 3 people the next time.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. It helps a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And there is something to that whole saying, like, fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Like, if you just pretend like you're confident for a hot minute, then you do it over and over and it just like happens somehow.
Let's also talk about though, like at a certain point, I feel like some people, they can just talk your ear off and maybe you don't need to be talking to them. Like you got things to do. You don't need to be like out late at this party, drinking alcohol, talking to these people that, you know, I'm saying networking is good, but at a certain point, you know, when people are just talking to you and you're like, I don't care. We're never going to see each other again. Like you were saying in the beginning.
Those are the people I'm subtweeting when I say no when your out is or when a good out is.
Yeah. So, yeah. It's also just do you first over all of this, I guess.
Yeah, sure. If this gives you so much anxiety that you like hate the thought of it, don't. That's terrible advice.
But everything is scary the first time you do it.
Exactly. So the whole like, yeah, talk to one person and then the next time one won't be so bad and maybe the second will be scary, but then talking to one person seems easy, you know? Okay, say hi to everyone at the party right when you arrive and then sneak away to collect yourself. This makes coming back to the party much easier. This one I like fully stand behind.
I literally wrote love this beside it.
Yeah, this is something like I don't do it all the time, but I like kick myself after when I forget to do it because it's like, oh shoot, like it's been 20 minutes, I never said hi to that one person. Now it's awkward if I go like talk to them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even like this is more so for smaller parties because of course at a big event it's hard to go around to everybody. But if you're at like a friend's house and there's a bunch of people there that you don't know, like as soon as you get in, just introduce yourself and then it's over.
Like don't stop and talk to somebody right in the beginning. Yeah.
Just go in, like just be like, hi, I'm this person and just say hi like to everybody. And then like the next time you run into them or like even at the party you're talking to them, it's not weird anymore because they know who you are.
Yes, definitely. I think that's a thing.
Yeah.
That I never do, but I should do.
It is a really good thing. And then I always, like, because I don't do it all the time, but I notice when there are the people that do that, like you have a friend of a friend that comes and like instantly they introduce themselves to everyone and you're like, wow, that's a good person.
That is a nice person.
That's it. Like, I want to be that person's friend.
That is a butterfly that is social.
And maybe they're not on the inside. Maybe they're faking it till they make it. Maybe they're saying hi to 3 new people this time. But you don't know that, right?
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Wow, I love that. We're all going to be social butterflies by the end of this. And then we're going to further all of our careers by meeting and talking to new people.
Exactly.
New opportunities. All right, next up, it may feel silly, but practice random social interactions in low-pressure situations. Example, the cashier at the grocery store. That's pretty
cute.
good. What
cute.
Can you hold a conversation with a cashier at a grocery store?
And if you mess up and it's awkward, you're probably never really going to see them again.
Yeah,
So
until
that's
you
great.
need to buy groceries next week.
Well, that's true.
Practice at a grocery store that you don't go to.
Yeah, drive to the next town, talk to that grocery store cashier, and then go home.
The things we do.
The things we do.
Also, I want to take improv.
Ooh,
I think that would help. That's my own little tip, guys.
that would probably help a lot.
That would help with everything. I might be able to speak better. I might be funnier. And then maybe I'll be less nervous in social situations.
Yeah, doing improv would make me be nervous, so I think that would help.
Yeah, exactly. If it makes you nervous, then it's probably something that you might want to try to explore. Like, why is that making you nervous, you know?
I feel that.
Yeah.
Okay, work on having good posture and wear your fave new outfit to feel your best. Yeah, I feel that one, especially
yeah.
the new outfit thing. it's like a little bit of like, I know I feel great, so it's one less thing to worry about, if that makes sense.
Like confidence starts from the outside.
The outfit?
I was trying to make that deep, and I was like, wait a minute, that sounds really wrong. But yeah, no, the confidence can start from the outside. You know, when people are like, I bought new workout clothes, so now I'm gonna work out more.
Exactly. Or like, I got a new haircut, so now I'm going out on dates, you know?
I know.
Stuff like that.
That's why I don't even want to go to LA next week, because I have to get my hair done and I need a spray tan. But there's no time. I don't even want to go to LA. I'm not confident.
Well, maybe we need to get you a new outfit.
Oh, there we go. That's one thing I might be able to do in time. But
And work on your posture.
wow.
Yeah, see,
okay.
there you go. You look like a confident person now.
This is for all you guys on the video.
Yes, which, by the way, if you guys don't know, if you're listening to us on a podcast listening app, we now record these on video as well. So if you go to youtube.com/TheSorryLife, you can see this podcast live as well and watch Kelsey's posture.
Whenever we don't mess up the video recording, that only happened once. And then one more thing on this topic. I think also that your friends and family can help in social situations that you may feel less confident in. Like, for example, our manager bringing us up to Anthony, or also Becky all the time. If there's somebody I want to talk to, she will drag me over there. And she'll be like, I'll say the first thing, but after that, like, you need to carry on the conversation.
And this is, like, let it be known, not because I'm a confident person. Like, I'm really not. Like, if I was by myself, I'd probably talk to 0 people. But it's because, like, there's that push that, like, I'm trying to help somebody, or, like, I'm trying to make us, like, talk to people.
Yeah.
Like, it's this weird thing in my head where it's like, oh, it's not because, like, I think they're cool or anything, which I totally do. It's like, it's because I should, or like, it's good to meet new people, which like makes it less scary.
Yeah.
You know?
Also, I think, did you bring yourself up to meet, who do you guys love?
Oh, Trisha?
Trisha.
Well, no, okay.
Did I bring you up to that?
No, Reuben did.
Oh, Reuben.
Our manager.
Yeah. I remember that was one where you were like, I need an introduction. But at the same time, sometimes maybe it's good to get that introduction because you have that whole mutual friend vouching thing that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
So your friends can definitely help you out, or your friends and family helping you out with talking to and meeting people. But I know that this has actually been an issue with David and I, because the whole hiding in the washroom thing.
Do you do it together?
No. Okay, what happens is I will invite him out to like hang out with my friends, and then I just like get overwhelmed, or like it's been long enough. I'm like, I've been in this like loud bar for long enough, like I want to go home. But now all of a sudden he's having fun.
Okay.
And like it's like I'm having fun too, but at a certain point I'm just like, I want to go home. And like maybe sometimes it's like 11 p.m. and sometimes it's like 1:30, and I'm like, no, we can definitely go home now. But anyways, he'll be like, no, I'm having fun, and I'm like, I want to go home. And then sometimes he's thought that like I'm not taking his feelings into consideration, that like he wants to stay. And I'm like, no, I really need to go. Like, this is way too much for me. But then he's just like, you need to tell me if you're feeling anxious. And I was like,
I am.
I don't want to blame the anxiety, man. I just want to go.
That's true.
So then I just go in the washroom until everybody's ready to leave.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, moving on.
No, sorry, I don't know what to add to that, but I like, you try to get your friends to help, but sometimes it doesn't. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, but David knows now. Like, I think he said there's a code word, but I forget the code word, so that's not going to help. Where it's like, if I want to go. Yeah. Because I'm never going to be like, hey, this is loud bar.
Yeah.
Daniella, put some like bar music in the background, maybe. Thank you, Becky.
I got you.
Hey, I'm feeling anxious. It's really loud and lots of people in here. Do you think we can go? I feel like I'm ready to go.
Yeah, you don't want to say that.
No. But if you're like, oh, you know what the code word is? It's just like, I need to get some air. Because sometimes just going outside and getting the air can help. And sometimes you can go outside, get the air, and be like, no, can we go now? Anyways. Hacks. Anxious girl
like
hacks. All right. Wow. That was enough socially anxious talk for me, because I'm now feeling socially anxious.
Bringing up all those scenarios in my memes about like all the times I've had awkward interactions with people just like brought me back, and now I'm like, I need some fresh air.
I know. Code word, I need some fresh air.
Exactly.
But we do have one email to read before we can get some fresh air.
Yeah.
So like Becky said, if you guys want to send an email about any thoughts, comments, concerns, new podcast topic inspo, you can send that to podcast@thesorrygirls.com. So this week's email is from Jing. They say, hello, Kelsey, Becky, Danielle, and team. I finally got around to listening to your podcast, season 2, episode 1, for the first time today. And when you said email us, I thought, cool, I'm going to do that. So here we are. Love that. My name is Jing, a fellow 20-something in Toronto. Wow, can relate. And I discovered your channels a few months back when I was finalizing the purchase agreement for a stacked townhouse in downtown Toronto that needs some work. I moved in a couple of weeks ago. Woot, congrats. Although by move-in, I mean sort of glamping situation with plastic folding furniture, an air mattress, and bare essentials while I get the work done.
Yep, feel that.
That's probably going to be me in October because... yeah, I don't know how I'm going to live there and get renos at the same time.
When we got our first house, we literally were sitting on lawn chairs in our living room for a while because we didn't have a couch or anything.
I need a photo of that.
I don't know if there is one. Actually, there might be.
Kelsey, I understand exactly where you are and how you feel. Seeing multiple places before you figure out what you actually need and want, waiting for the right place to come up, sneaking in showings during busy work hours. I've been there. One of my criteria was also income potential. Though for me, that meant 2 decently sized bedrooms, 2 baths, private outdoor space, and conductive to Airbnb. Wow, we are so similar. We should be friends. I loved what you said about letting cool and interesting Airbnbs guide your Ireland trip because I've done the same when traveling, and that's exactly what I want my place to be. Still some months away from this being a reality, though. Believe it or not, because of the not so ideal situation that my townhouse was in, it's out on the market for surprisingly and relatively long for its location and price point that I was able to see it twice before making my first offer with multiple conditions and no other bidders.
Wow.
That is crazy. I mean, I saw it twice, but I didn't put in any conditions because I wouldn't have gotten it. The most stressful part by far was the negotiations back and forth afterwards, but I know I got extremely lucky here. Yeah, I didn't have any back and forth negotiations. Did you when you got your house?
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh shoot. Wow, I feel lucky now. That's great. I hope a similar scenario pans out for you because your needs are different and you're willing to put in the work. In any case, I wish you the very bestest in your home buying journey. I loved Becky's house series and I can't wait to see yours.
Oh, thank you. It's an ongoing one, as the vlog fam knows.
I know Becky's forever working on her home.
I love it.
But this email, we received this email before the episode went out where I bought a house. So I have a house now.
Her good vibes.
Thank you. It came through the email. And yes, I will probably do a house series. How much house series do you want? Yes. Not to get too fangirl here, and this email is getting way too long, but I already thought you were all kick-ass people doing phenomenal things, and this podcast just put you over the top. I so admire your work ethic, your penchant for learning and improving, your 9-to-5 philosophy, your aspirations for bigger and better opportunities, how much you care about your team, among many, many other things. You're an inspiration. Keep doing what you are doing, and you'll be on Netflix and take over the world in no time.
Oh my goodness. You are so sweet.
That was the sweetest. Oh. It is messages like that keep us doing what we're doing. And it's like, I think how I truly feel deep inside about us and everything that we've built, but you just forget when it's the busy days, you know?
Exactly. Also, Good luck with your new house, Jing, that you have, and all the renos that seems like you're in the process of.
I was literally just about to say, let us know if you need help. And there's a second part of the email that it's like, do you want to come help with my house? So maybe we can make that happen. And they're saying that they have to catch up on episode 1 and all the best with love. Yeah, thank you so much for that. You don't have to send all nice emails like that, but that was really nice to read. And it's nice to know that we're kind of all in the same boat here with this whole house thing.
Yeah, and it's nice to know that people want to see content about that, which means we were going to do it anyways, let's be honest. But it's nice that we know that the audience is there and excited for it. So.
Yeah, just watch me become like house flippers.
I'm not mad. Potential life goal.
Potential life goal.
Very potential life goal.
After this house, I want to get an office. Mm-hmm. I'm manifesting that. I was able to manifest this house, so I'm just going to manifest this office.
Sounds good to me.
I want to buy an office. I can't afford an office. I want to rent an office. A new office. We're not talking about that on this podcast. We'll talk about it on a different podcast. All right, as always, thank you guys so much for listening and tuning in to this week's podcast on The Sorry Girls Radio.
We've been your hosts, Becky and Kelsey. Thanks for listening, guys. And again, send us emails if you have any thoughts for next week, and we will see you then. Or we will talk at you then.
All right, bye now.
Bye.